All right, guys, you know it's Tuesday. It is that wonderful time. Let me readjust this camera because somehow it's moving. Our special guest is down in the green room. You guys know how we like to do it nowadays. So let's start this one off proper. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, TCT, BNL, that's this sexy motherfucker right here, is proud to bring to you our very soon-to-be world-famous No Lag Zone. And tonight, venturing back in, we have one amazing dude. He is a Marine Corps vet. You know, we really can't hold that against him just because he likes to eat crayons. He joined the right branch. He owns a men's grooming company, and he's got some incredible stuff to say about mental health, so we had to bring him in. So without much further ado, we have Mike The G.O.A.T, or Mike from Crom the Dirtha, however you want to put it.
Good evening, everybody. I'm happy to be on the show. I'm looking forward to this discussion, talking about mental health, talking about a little bit of what I stand for, and a little bit of my thought process on the mental health issues in our country.
Now, we've only got one watching at this point. That's okay. J. Cruz will get done in a little bit. We'll get more people in here. And by the way, shout out to the replay squad. You guys make this really, really worth it. You guys are awesome. Iron Wings, I'm assuming you're back down there in your little dungeon, buddy. Guess what? He's behind enemy lines just like you. But still. Now, Mike, my brother, I know who you are. I know how wonderful your company is and the great stuff you've been doing. But let's just play for a moment that like nobody's ever heard of you. Give me your elevator pitch, brother.
All right. Well, we are Crom the Dirtha, which stands for natural care in Irish Gaelic. I'm a third-generation American. My great-grandparents came over from Ireland, and I really wanted to lean into my Irish lineage with the company. So I wanted to create something within the natural care industry, but my wife and I didn't really know which way we wanted to go. We were researching a lot of organic ingredients. We were learning a lot of stuff. I got the opportunity to live in Japan because I was just going to get out of the Marine Corps, just going to move to Ireland and start a business, and because I was going to be able to get an ancestry visa, but that didn't work out. I ended up going to Japan. I ended up going blind in my left eye. And I ended up getting medically retired from the Marine Corps. But during that entire medical separation process, because you don't just get sick and then get kicked out. That's not how it works. It took about 2 years for this entire process. And we were learning even more about formulas. We were sending out formulas to family members, different friends that were already out. They already had freedom beards. I didn't get to do it quite yet, but we were experimenting with our products just in the field, just like friends and family. But the pomade I did definitely get to use.
See, I love how you went freedom beards, because that's exactly what it is. When you are day in and day out, you got to shave twice a day to have that baby butt smooth face.
Yep.
Even your mustache has regulations and how it can be, how it can look.
It's like a little tiny little caterpillar stash is what you're allowed, like the little cop stash.
Exactly. And then it's like you get your DD-214 and bam, your Spartan grows out, you know?
Exactly. Because you don't have to do it anymore. I mean, I went the other approach as well. I just stopped getting haircuts.
Yeah, well, I'm bald, so.
Hey, man, we all got to start somewhere. But no, I mean, that's in my brand. I wanted to create something that men could pay more attention to their self-awareness, because if you're paying attention to yourself every day, just inherently you start noticing more things about yourself, and you'll start taking notice. And the more you take notice of yourself, the more you're actually taking care of yourself. The more you take care of yourself, the more you care about yourself. And it just is it's like a domino effect that can improve your overall mental health. And that's really what I wanted to offer, especially after dealing with the psychological issues I was dealing with after going through my eye and everything like that. I really wanted to lean into something, because I understand how marginalized men are, just not only just in America, but around the world when it comes to mental health. Like, nobody really gives a shit about us, right? So that's what I really wanted to cultivate the brand to stand for. And that's why I leaned into the gentleman, because it's really just a state of mind. It's just an elevation of your mind and your thought process. If you can change your thought process, you can change anything about yourself.
See, it's funny. There's another small batch company out of Texas who asked me that question once. What do you consider a gentleman? And of course, you go back to that, well, the 3-piece suits and everything's manicured, with the top hats. You don't think about taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, acting a certain way, taking care of you just automatically don't go there. And one of the things I love that you do is you put out those gentleman, blogs where you take a subject and here, we're going to talk about it for a moment.
Right. Yeah, and that's something I'm really passionate about. I really love being able to express myself through writing. It's something that I've always enjoyed doing. I was actually writing a kind of a mystery, suspense, horror novel at one point. I was about like 5,000 words in or something, and my computer got the blue screen of death. So I just said, fuck it, and then I never went back, and I never started it again.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm done writing, but I'm letting it come back in different ways because I'm passionate about the stuff that I talk about, especially with mental health, because this last year has been extremely difficult. I retired and I went on terminal leave in February of 2020. My technical EAS date was like April. I lost my job in December.
Ooh.
And then everything was kind of going kind of south from there. Kind of dug really deep. Got to move in with the wife's family for a little bit, and we're refining it. And I think that's really where I started rediscovering the aspect of how important mental health truly is. Because I'm not gonna lie, like you start losing yourself after you get so used to being on your own. And
I'm going to leave that one there for you because I've already got an answer for
yes,
him.
it does. It's not based on your appearance. It's a state of mind. It's always been a state of mind.
Yeah, Dan, your opinion screams cell block 6. Just saying. Okay.
And that's all it ever is a state of mind.
And that's one of those things that I think ties so closely with something you're passionate about is mental health.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like you were saying in the beginning, I mean, simple things about your body can tell you when there's something wrong.
Exactly.
I mean, if you just scroll back like maybe 2 years, I had a big bald patch right in my beard because I wasn't taking good care of myself. I had to change things, and now it's gone.
Right. And sometimes it's even down to like how you eat. Hey, thank you. I actually hear that a lot with Lucky Orange. Like that, it's orange, lime, and patchouli, but the patchouli is not like forward; it's in the back. It gives it a nice little minty kick, and it blends really nicely with the orange and lime. That's actually one of my favorites.
E-Rock Cinnamon Dream. That's all I'm saying. Cinnamon Dream. That's
Cinnamon Dream's fire too. I'm thinking about the description though, man. I feel like I don't get bakery from it.
I get a little, but still.
But it's more like complex than that, I feel. I don't know.
Yeah. You can just be like, a bougie bakery in New York City, something like that.
Yeah, something, man.
But yeah, and I love how you said it right in the beginning, because especially being in the military, you're not allowed to have a breakdown.
No.
You've got to ruck up, shut the fuck up, keep moving forward.
Yep.
But if you have that breakdown, they're like, come here. We're going to put a desk in a broom closet. Now, don't you make a sound.
Right. Just and that's how men are treated, like, systemically when it comes to mental health. It's like we get the broom closet and we always take the back seat. You know what I mean? And that's not how it should be, because at the end of the day, we're still human beings, and that's not the way that it's intended. Like, we should be able to sit here, like, even man to man, and talk about how, like, oh, I feel like this today. Like, it sounds really weird, like, us talking about it, because of the way that we've been brought up, or the way society dictates that men aren't supposed to feel anything, and if you feel anything, you're weak. But that's not the case. My idea is to change that, and change the way that we think and the way that we approach. I think if we do that, it can reduce not only like suicide rates, but just improve mental health, period. If men feel like they're able to, like, tend to their mental health. But it's got to start with self-awareness. You got to take care of yourself. A lot of the time we don't take care of ourselves because we forget about ourselves to take care of others.
And you see, and that's one of the things that I always preach on the show, and that's why I wanted you back so badly, because we talked about this a lot the last time you were here. It's okay to sit and go, I have a problem. I am not doing okay.
Right.
And if your true friends are your true friends, they're going to go, they're going to bust your ass and then turn around and go, all right, fucker, let's start talking.
Right. Exactly.
And that's where it starts, is you've got to be able to, if you don't like what you're looking at in that mirror, you've got to be able to make some changes.
Right.
And I'm not talking about, well, I'm going to switch from, Bud Light to, this, but no, it's, you've got to be able to recognize and go, I'm not in a good place. I'm not feeling okay.
Right.
What can I do?
Exactly. And that's ultimately what I wanted to make it about, because if you can at least start taking care of yourself, you can start taking notice of everything else in your life. And it gives you a sense of control, because at the end of the day, like, you want to feel in control and know like how you're feeling, what's going on with you, and you want to be secure in your own skin. Well, a lot of the times we're self-conscious as well, and you're like, well, dang, do I like smell funny? Like there's like thoughts that guys go through, just like, we don't talk about it, but there's a lot of self-confidence issues a lot of us have, and being able to enhance that through self-awareness and improving all aspects of your life just by embracing just even a concept and a state of mind would be revolutionary for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, we all can't be like Dwayne the Rock Johnson or Arnold
Yeah, no,
Schwarzenegger
yeah,
in his
right.
heyday, you know.
It's got to be, it's context though.
Yeah,
Like,
but
what's your version? What's your version of The Rock? You know what I mean? Like, and then
See,
whatever your no, like, you get what I'm saying. It's context. It's like, what can I achieve to be my best version? Like, if you see somebody that like, dang, they're like their best version of themselves right now. Like, how can I be like the best version of myself here today, like every day, and just trying to get ahead?
yeah, and it's funny you bring up like my version of The Rock. I always remember when he broke into wrestling and had the Tia Pet hairdo, and he
Yeah.
was goofy as hell. That's who I always remember, you know.
Right.
But I get what you're saying, but I mean, guys every day suffer from, you know, eyebrows. Are they okay? Is my haircut on point? You know, is my
Right.
beard style?
Yeah.
Is this deodorant going okay? It's like you said about smelling funny,
Right.
because we do this stuff, not so much beard care, but the flavored stuff we put in our beers, the scented stuff.
Right.
It's not for me. It's because I want someone whom I'm attracted to look
Right.
at me and be like,
And take
"Dude,"
notice.
you
Right.
know.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. But then even with like the scent, like if it smells amazing, but then it's like super, it's like, you know what I mean? Then it's like other deterrents. It's like a balance. You gotta have
Yeah.
both.
And that's that rough part.
Yeah.
Because even if, God, okay, my better half hates 95% of what I wear. If it was up to her, I'd be clean shaven, period. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a little bit overweight. I know I got a couple chins sitting under here somewhere. You know, the beard
Right.
covers it. I'm
Yeah.
good. But it's just, you've got, God. All right, I already lost that thought. Let me see if I can get it back. You've just got to be able to roll with some things and
Right.
make those changes, because, okay, you don't like this company's version of this, but what about this company's version?
Right. You got to try different takes, because everyone's takes different. Like, and everyone does something just a little bit differently. Just like, even when it comes down to carrier blends, like that's another like subjective thing, isn't it? Because everyone's ratios are going to be different. The way everyone like puts oils, where we get our oils from could be different. Like, there's different qualities of jojoba. Like, there's different factors that go into like everything. And like, and maybe one bad experience just isn't necessarily like a deterrent. What if just so happens, like, what if like that jojoba they sent them just wasn't that great a jojoba that time, but has been rock solid the other like 50,000 times they've gotten that jojoba oil, and especially with how the supply chain's been lately.
Yeah, Murphy's Law and E-Rock. I see that. That's it. I'm talking to Vato. I'm talking to his ice agent. We're coming for you, bro. That's it.
I'm not ever doing burpees again.
I'm 50. I don't do burpees. I hit the ground like that, I'm not getting back up.
You should do Thai burpees then.
Yeah, this is my workout. All right, my back doesn't hurt. Let's go.
That one's even more crazy. It's like you do a burpee, but then you jump up and bring your knees to your chest, and that one was crazy. And then you like go back down and do a push-up. Say one. That's just one.
It's like one of those that I know you know his name, Nick Comalazos.
Uh-huh.
When I'm seeing him working out at 40 and he's carrying around like these massive weights and everything, I'm like, I just want to beat you with a baseball bat.
Dude, he's a monster. You know, honestly, I used to be pretty beefy myself, man, but
beefcake.
Yeah, but now like my arms are all skinny-ish. I'm trying to like drink protein again and start working out. But...
What? No, go away for now. I love them, but they're in this little thing of mommy's working a little later, so let's go bug daddy during his live feed, thinking we can get whatever we can want while he's on a live because he won't stop his live.
But you know it's gonna work though. Like my toddler takes advantage of me all the time.
Yeah, well, he works 90% of the time. Okay, I'm just I got to push back every so often. You got
to assert that dad voice a little bit sometimes. Like, no, not right now.
Just a little.
And then you feel bad. Like, all right, cool. What did y'all want?
Pretty much.
Yo.
Yeah. Okay. Great. You did. Look, dude. 20 years ago, I could run a 15-minute 2-mile. Now I just get in the car and drive. And yes, I do get a good workout going back and forth to the mailbox. My mailman hates me, especially when he has to bring bigger packages to the house. Oh, he hates me.
Oh, I bet, because he's like, "You didn't come down, bro." Nah, man, that's too heavy. I don't lift from my back. I lift from my mailman.
Exactly. And the funny part is, my mail guy is ex-Marine Corps, so
Yeah.
we pick on each other all the freaking time. And he's just as curious to see what I'm getting as I am when it arrives. I'm like, got kind of drunk this weekend. Fuck, what did I order?
Oh no.
Seriously.
Wow.
Oh.
You be brewing your own mead though. It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, once I hit 16% on something based with apple juice.
Yep. I mean, it's just basically just like spiked apple juice at that point.
You ever have a cup of apple juice that kicks you in the dick and smacks you in the face? I can send you a bottle.
I don't drink like that. I have my vices, but not.
Dude, it's just one little. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. I the only time I ever really drank at the ball, like I can hold my liquor, but
yeah, but okay. Seeing how you brought it up.
Yeah.
The Marine Corps ball is some of the funniest shit ever.
Oh, it's incredible.
You guys with your ceremony and everybody in their dress blues and everyone's so prim and proper and everything. Then the first beer or the grog passes out. Then every Marine kid's white girl wasted.
There's people that are already shit faced and they're saying "fuck yeah" during the commandant's like video, like kill the motherfuckers. Like
you guys get white girl wasted and want to fight or fuck
like
everything from a raccoon to a whale. You know. That's how I died laughing when, what was it, Antifa was going to hold a rally or something right by a Marine Corps base. And I'm like,
yeah,
it's the Marine Corps ball, you stupid fucks.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
I'm like, please do. Yeah, Mike's a former Marine. Like I said in the beginning.
I was in the Marine Corps for 9 years, man. I was medically retired. I would actually still be in Okinawa right now if I never went blind in my eye.
Well, it's...
Oh, dude, like Okinawa is an experience, man. Like I fucking love Japan. Like I want to go back and go on vacation at some point.
Okay, you were lucky. You were married, so you weren't a bad Marine.
No, I was not, but I had Marines in the band.
Yeah, but it's
dude, okay. So when I was leaving, they were actually loosening up restrictions. They were letting Lance Corporals get cars.
See,
that's a bat, and I was like, "Are you sure?" And then, because the retention specialist has like the director, like the CEO, and the sergeant major. Like, are we sure that's a good idea? Because our reenlistment numbers are going to be like crap because they're all going to get DUIs because it's like a 1 drop rule in Okinawa. Like, if you have a drop of alcohol in your system, like you get a DUI. Yeah, like, it'll be fine. The general said it's cool, but it's also the oldest serving general that didn't quite make it to the commandant. But he's like a 3-star general that's been in for super long. He's like, I don't care. Let the Lance Corporals have cars. Yeah, he said, if they get in trouble, relieve me. I'll retire.
Right? What are you gonna do to me? Right? I just when you can't. God, I can only phrase it like this: when you cage you devious little devil dogs in a one little area, and there's so much fun over here that they're not allowed to go do.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible. Oh, and they just open it up so where they can get sleeve tattoos now. Oh, it's gonna be.
I did see that.
Yeah, and they're in Okinawa. Like I would have had a full like Marvel Pokemon sleeve done if sleeve tattoos were allowed by the time I left. I had like a half sleeve, but it's only one piece. I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. I should have just fuck it. What are they going to do? Kick me out?
Japan, the home of like full body tattoos.
Yeah, they do. They're supposed to. Like, okay, so technically you're supposed to, but they can't tell you no, and you don't technically have to tell them. Not technically, but you're gonna get reamed if you just show up and be like,
Aaron, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm married. But no, they're supposed to. They say you should tell me, and if they tell you you're supposed to tell them, then yeah, it could be considered. It's gray area. There's a lot of gray area.
And that's the funny part about the military. It's so strict and rules and regulations and everything, but we play in the gray. You know?
And I've seen a lot of guys' careers end over the gray because there's this magical thing called a 134 that they can. It's just called a general. They can, if you walked across the street and stepped on somebody's toes, here's an NJP. You're no longer a corporal. You're a lance corporal again. General article.
Do you still have that fear of walking on the grass? You know.
I think I don't necessarily say it's a fear. I think it's more of I think it depends. Like if the grass looks shitty, I don't care because. But if the grass looks nice, like I inherently don't even let my kids walk on the grass.
Either I'm like, is it your grass? Did you mow it? No, I'm not going to get yelled at for you. You know.
So, hey, but if the grass looks shitty,
the name.
Huh?
I didn't recognize the name here. Breakdown City, and he's damage to government property, like a bad sunburn can get you an Article 15, or for you, a mask. You know.
Yeah. It's just little wild shit like that.
Yeah.
I've seen somebody get a page 11 for not drinking at the ball because the sergeant major gave them a drink and told them to drink, and they refused to drink, so he gave them a page 11. I was like, you can't do that.
I also
he said it was a direct order, and he was not drunk enough.
What was it? I think I saw it on Camp Lejeune. There was a unit that was told you're not allowed to drink during the Marine Corps ball because somebody got a DUI.
Yep.
And they
can make it a dry ball.
Yeah, I'm like, you're going to do that to the Marines on the one day of the year.
They're encouraged to do that.
Exactly, you know?
No, man.
You see, and this is one of these things that as a vet, we can sit and laugh about this because it's so comical to us. Yeah. But like during that part where you had that one guy who screwed the pooch for everybody, you just see everyone wrapping soap in a towel and being like, we'll take care of it, Sergeant Major, don't worry.
I have a funny story about alcohol. So our battalion was so notorious for our battalion was so notorious, H&S was so notorious for DUIs at the time that I was there, that if we went 96 days without an alcohol-related incident, we would get a 96. Right? Okay, hear me out. We went 96 days without a 96. My lance corporal decides to get shit-faced the moment we and he's underage, by the way.
Oh God!
He gets shit-faced the moment we get released. He drives into the air station on penalty, and I get a phone call. Why the fuck is your Marine? Blah 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 blah. And then the entire battalion got called back off of the 96, and we all were forced to work the entire weekend because somebody fucked it up within 45 minutes. It's like, how do we just get and I'm just like, the irony. We get released for 96 for no alcohol. Yo, they ad-sep that kid so fucking fast.
Oh my God, that's just priceless. But you see, and it's also one of those things that it ties right back with mental health is we're laughing at the dark because we can. And it's funny to us, you know. But like when you were going through it, you were like,
"Oh, it's like, oh my God!"
Homicidal thoughts going, "He's going to die," you know.
Yeah. But then you just look back like, "Oh my God, I was surrounded by idiots."
Yeah, but we were the fittest alcoholics on the planet
while
we were serving in the military.
Most definitely.
Which, by the way, for all you non-vets who are currently watching this, thank you so much for providing me with alcohol for like 8 different years. So thank you.
Man, I remember when I was like a PFC, I remember my sergeant showed up hungover, still drunk, and ran a 300 PFT.
Oh, fuck that.
He was a fucking machine. He still ran a 16-minute 3-mile. He still did his 20 pull-ups, and he did his 100 crunches in like 30 seconds. He was like, boom, 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 done. And he got up, and he's like, see, you guys are all fucking weak.
Oh, my God. It's like, you know who David Goggins is, right?
Huh?
You know who David Goggins is?
Uh-uh.
The ex-SEAL who does all this motivational stuff.
And I might have seen him. Maybe.
One of his famous things, he loves to tell everyone, get hard.
No.
And he runs ultra marathons all the time. He ran one with 2 broken legs. He didn't even know they were broke while he was running, and he kept running and running.
See, people like that they're just Spartans.
Yeah, but I mean, here you have this guy with 2 broke legs, running, sweating, filming a video telling you, "Get hard, motherfucker, get tough, get hard." And I'm like, I'm scared,
You're sitting there taking a bite of your cheeseburger, like, damn, I feel like shit.
Right?
My legs are broken. Do you see me crying? No, I'm not here running. What are you doing?
Get hard. But the burger says stay right here.
But I mean, man, but we know a lot about false motivation at the same time. Like, it's like, no, you're probably in pain. You're just like I get why people are doing it. It's to instill that motivation. That's just like it's just what they teach us to do. Like when we're starting to become leaders, instill that motivation, instill that idea that you're a machine to your subordinates. Because if you're a machine, then they fear you and they're gonna follow your orders.
And you see, that's what's funny is I still talk to one of my former squad leaders to this day, and I've been out for over 20 years. I still call him dad.
Because you just have that much respect.
Yeah, and he was the guy when I needed something, I went to, because I knew he'd find a way to get it done. But when I fucked up, I tried to hide from him because I didn't want to see him because I knew I was done,
Right.
I always remember that. He just looked. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I still go. The person lives near your parents, and I go to the night market on Thursdays.
Nice.
Right outside Oceanside, right outside the gate. Actually, it's close around there. Actually, it's somewhere.
So this is going to seem like an oddball question, but I think it ties in beautifully. What do you feel from your time in service carried over to your time as a business owner to help you really prepare?
The long hours, definitely. The dedication to duty, the need to perfect everything, to make sure that everything's rock solid. And if anybody's tested anything for me, they'll verify that. I'll hound you the entire time. Like, okay, but how's it doing? How's your beard reacting? How is your hair reacting? The body wash, the cologne, how does it absorb? How long does the scent last? I'm looking for specific metrics when I send it out. So I feel like that attention to detail carried over. I do. I live in Marietta, actually.
That's what I said in the beginning, Aaron. I know you weren't here. Iron Wings lives in California. I made the joke because he was watching. I'm like, yeah, he's behind enemy lines, just like you, bro. Look, don't get me wrong. I love the scenery down there. I think you have some of the most beautiful, intense scenery. I just think you have some of the worst leaders in all of CONUS. That's the only way I can put it.
Gotcha. I'm only here because Chicago didn't work out.
Got sick and tired of dodging gunfire, did you?
No, I didn't. The wild part is what really fucked me up is that when I got out, I actually got a really good job, and when I got laid off, that was a big blow to me. Give me 1 second. I gotta take the phone charger to my wife. I'll be right back.
You good, bro? You're good. And yeah, E-Rock, I totally agree. California is a separate, entirely different country. Seriously. Oh, man. So, hey, how's your guys' weekend been? I know some of you saw mine. But still, seeing how Aaron Rodgers is in here, bro, I want to say it. I appreciate the live that you did earlier today, man. From me to you, and I'm saying it live, I don't care who you hang with. I don't care who you talk to. I don't care. I've only ever judged you by how you treat me and how we treat each other. You know, brother? Bearded Bayou, how you doing? The guest will be right back. Miss Ellie, how are you? Did you win anything in a live stream earlier? If you didn't, I'm going to be a little bit suspect. Just saying. Oh, dude, see, yeah, I haven't been in New York since the 80s. So, yeah, I don't really ever want to go back. I don't. It's not cool being, with a Boston accent in New York. You have all kinds of problems that you really just don't ever want to have,
What are we talking about? What did I miss?
No, E-Rock was saying New York is kind of different as well. And I was like, yeah, I haven't been to New York since the 80s, and it's really bad being a Red Sox fan in New York City.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's really, really bad.
Bad and bearded Casey.
Bobby, how you doing, my brother? Hope you're being safe.
But anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, so, okay, I almost expect you to just say attention to detail.
Mm-hmm. I did say attention to detail.
No, you said it in a different way.
Oh, got you.
But still. And it's one of those things that I have noticed when veterans set out to do a business, a lot of them are pretty successful because they're more than willing to put in the hours. I mean, some people don't get a 24-hour CQ and you can't fall asleep.
Right.
So when you're at 3 a.m, slapping yourself to stay awake, right. Or depending on your rank and having your sergeant go drop and give me 10 to wake up. And I'm like, I'm tired and you're going to make me work out. Yeah, that's going to work out real well.
Right.
But they set their mind to it. And you're so used to, I have my task. I have my mission. Let me get that goal. Then when you get that goal, where's my next objective?
Exactly. It's a very goal-oriented approach. And I do approach it strategically. I mean, you always need like a 5-paragraph order before you go into anything, and that's the way that we approach everything, even with releases. If we decide to move the company a certain way, or if we decide to develop, like it's done with intent and purpose and a lot of like thought and heart put into it.
Yeah, and even like with my kids, and I mean, I know this sounds so dumb, even that carries over because like when we're going across the street to go to the bus stop, they approach the sidewalk, they look both ways and go clear. I'm like, go. And then they run across the street, get to the next little thing, they look clear, go.
Yeah, exactly. And it definitely helps with but I also feel like military kids try to buck back because we structure them a lot.
Aaron, you never ever really forget chance. You just don't. You never ever do. And if you ever catch like a Marine Corps marching video, it just brings back those thoughts.
I definitely remember the marching ones. Like I posted something recently, like a meme that had something to do with like ducks or like a rabbit, and I said, "Tell me you guys don't see the little yellow birdie."
Yes.
And it was so funny to me, but I feel like nobody got it.
Well, it's one of those unless you know.
Yeah, I know.
You can't really comprehend.
Yeah.
And it's another one of those things. Like I feel vets have that same brotherhood like first responders do.
Right.
Instantly you get together and you're figuring out, okay, you were what, you were who, what MOS were you, what did you do? And you're starting to rank yourself and then you start telling war stories about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, just everything from, I had a vet on who was a Cav Scout and decided to jump to the Air Force to be a pararescue. And I was bribing him with rippets.
Those are currency.
Thank you. Or
it's like cigarettes in prison or something.
Or what is it? There's a channel out there. It's called the FNG Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And they have something on there. It's called Wine and Rations, where they get an MRE and they pair it up with some kind of alcoholic beverage. So it's comical, like when they rip the MRE open and there's M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, as a matter of fact. They're like, oh, this is currency. Oh, everyone's going to want it. And I'm like, sadly, I know that.
Right. The peanut M&Ms, the cheese tortellini, the jalapeno cheese spread, the chocolate peanut butter. And you sit there and trade it like Pokemon cards. Like, hey, I'll give you this jalapeno cheese spread for your crackers.
Yeah,
and peanut butter, like, huh?
You ever do the MRE cracker challenge?
Where you try to make like a sandwich with the crackers, or when you try to like a whole brick
them all in your mouth and chew them all in under like a minute.
No, I was never dumb enough to do that. I've seen somebody else do. It's worse than taking a mouthful of like cinnamon.
Pretty much.
Because your mouth, those crackers are the most dry, crusty crackers you'll ever eat in your life. But if you're starving, that peanut butter spread just right on those crackers is life.
See, when I was in,
I didn't even
we
use the
had,
heater, but to warm my hands.
dude, you can make the MRE heater bomb, but when I was in, we had the dehydrated fruit cup. So you used to eat it to get the sugar rush and take a drink and feel the shit expand in your stomach.
Yeah.
Oh. And yeah, Ellie, I saw that. I saw you won. I saw it. I knew it. You sold your soul, didn't you? E-Rock, my brother. I'll get back to you. I know that text you sent me. I'll answer you here really, really soon, bro. All right. Now that we're, vet picking and vet shaming for fun. What is just to flip it back to your business before we go another direction here.
Okay.
What would you say is your greatest accomplishment and your greatest failure so far to date?
I'd say my greatest accomplishment would be building the brand. Just the foundation, getting the ethos, getting it aligned with my own beliefs and my own values. I would say, just everything we've created with the brand, the products, just everything behind it. I would say that would be the greatest accomplishment with the business. Biggest failure, I've gotten little to no exposure.
See, and that just kills me because you're a hell of a guy and your products work wonderful. I mean, the solid cologne that you sent me, and yes, I'm a moron. I haven't reviewed it. I will get to it.
Good.
My son loves it. He truly loves it. And to have him do something actually to try to take care of himself.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Seriously, thank you.
Hey, no. I thank you for the feedback. Like, and this is like the kind of feedback that I love getting, just the person to person interactions, and that's what's. And honestly, man, me going to these markets is what's been really keeping me going and keeping me hungry. Because for the longest, I was doubting it, and but just hearing like responses like from you, like your son's experience, just with different products, and just having people just come up to me like, oh my god, I loved it, and I'm gonna get more next week. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like it's being well received when it.
Yeah.
It feels nice, but I would still say that it was a downfall because I didn't necessarily get like widespread exposure. I didn't do anything massive. I just kind of just stay in the trenches and just keep pushing. But
you're a grassroots campaign that's building. I've been a fan of yours, number one, since I first started to talk to you. Then I got your product, and I'm like, this stuff is good.
That means a lot.
Like I said, you know how much I love Cinnamon Dream, and
for sure.
The fact that my fucking son is actually taking care of himself with your product, I'm like, wow. Because like we have to threaten him because he's at that age, he's breaking out. And I'm like, mommy likes popping pimples. If you don't like mommy coming at you like this, you might want to scrub, you moron.
Exactly. Yeah, I already know. I have a teenager too. He's actually turning 16 on the 27th. So.
Yeah, but you see, the boy, I can say that to. My older daughter is 10, and she's getting ready to start hitting that awkward stage. And girls are so much different than boys. You really can't pick them up and say, "I'm going to throw you out a window."
Yeah. My 2-year-old's super sensitive. So I came to the picture when my son was like 4, going on 5. So I'm used to like raising a boy. Now with my daughter, I'm like, hey, sit down. And she's like, Daddy. It's like
start being like, oh fuck.
It's like I didn't mean to like make my voice deeper. I'm sorry. And then my wife's just like played you. Manipulative, man.
Yeah, but you're a girl. You can get away with that. Right. Me? No. Those little girls have kicked my ass their whole life, and it's so hard to punish them because when they start whining and crying, you're like, stay strong. Right.
Basically.
Oh, gee, how you doing? Hope Arizona's treating you well, my brother. There's those guys, the Contagion Effect. You guys should really check them out because they have some really interesting ideas and stuff going on for them. They do a lot about mental health. They try to help veterans. And I got to get it worked out. They're coming on the show.
Okay, we're going to have to link up.
Oh yeah, and contagion effect. You really need to go follow this. Fuck, all these years, I still point the wrong way. I don't care. You really need to hook up with this guy because he is Marine Corps and he's big on helping out with mental health.
Yeah.
So now we're back to that wonderful part of the show where we're going to talk about more mental health. We talked about your business a bit. We had some bet fun. Now it's time to talk about the heavy stuff. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I don't know how old yours, so don't answer it, but I'm seeing something with current generations where they're I did the bare minimum. Now where's my $1 million check?
Okay.
And that just flat out pisses me off because I don't know about you. And I'm going to give you a chance to respond here in a sec.
Okay.
I teach my kids be the hardest working son of a bitch in the room.
Okay.
If you're not that person, you need to work harder. It's okay to slack off and play games and do things, but you've got to work for your dreams and work for everything because nobody is going to hand you.
Yeah, 100%. No, they're not. So, okay, this is my thing with that exactly. I believe that it's a generational thing, but I think we need to pinpoint this just a little bit more, right? Like, for example, like I was born in 92, so I'm 29. I'm going to be 30 later this year. My mindset on it is like if I've done like a poor kid that came from the hood, right? Just my background. If I've done everything, I'm the first in my family to graduate high school. I'm the first in my family to get a college degree. I've done all these accolades in the military. And then I'm like, okay, I've done everything that is presented by society. And then they turn around, they're like, well, you don't have enough experience with this. Yeah, you have a lot of military experience, but you don't have enough civilian experience. We don't really, you know what I'm saying? So you play this little cat and mouse game where it almost forces you to be like, well, what the fuck? Like, I've done all this. Like, I'm promised this if I do A, B, C, D all the way to Z. Now, where's my double A all the way through double Z so I can get on with the next phase? I think, I think, but what I will say is I would probably say anyone born from 95 up, they're where that gimme mentality is, and they haven't really done anything to achieve like so it's like if you do it
right there
and
with you,
something's not working, then there's obviously something like going on, right? Like you can't help like your situations because a lot of the times there's just other factors against you, especially depending on your background. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other,
I get that, but you have to be willing to put in that work.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You have to work. And but that's my point. Like if you're putting in the work and you're putting in the work and you're putting in the work, I think that's where some people get aggravated. Because if they're I'm not saying everybody, because I know exactly the people you're talking about. It aggravates the hell out of me too.
Yeah.
Right.
And L, I see your question. I know who they are. I've never really looked into them. The one that I back the most is stopsoldiersuicide.org.
So to overhaul it's similar. It's still the same. It's the same goal of preventing veteran suicide. I've been looking into a lot of veteran organizations because once I get my company to a certain level, I would like to be able to give back some of my proceeds to veteran organizations, prevent like veteran mental health crises, because just dealing with some of my own turmoil over the last like year. It's different, like actually wanting to do something, because I've always wanted to help with veterans' mental health, and then when you actually get slapped in the face with like a super similar situation, you're like, fuck, like I felt for these guys before, but now this is like my life, and I want to do whatever I can do to prevent somebody else from going through this.
See, and that is also the neat thing I think about being a vet is we're taught you never leave your brother behind, period.
Right.
Never leave anyone on the battlefield. And that even carries over after you get out, because it's really weird and it's hard to describe it to people who haven't served. You feel that instant connection. And when you see somebody suffering and you've gone through something like it, you're instantly like, gotta help. What can I do?
Yeah, I know. And I know that's why you check on me all the time.
So, yeah, and you reached out this last weekend. You know, you're like, dude, you okay? And that meant a lot to me, you know? And it's not that, well, you know, Mike, he's that funny little guy. No, you're fucking cool as shit. I love you, brother, you know?
Love you too, bro.
But the other thing, and it's, okay, well, Hard times.
Yeah, that, and that's a lot of what's been creeping to my mind lately, and I've just been trying to surround myself with more motivational looking stuff, just because you see, a little bit of backstory. Like when I did get out, the whole coronavirus thing was just picking up, and it's a miracle I lasted as long as I did. Like, and then I took it so personal for so long because I was like, wow, I moved out here with a family. I did this. Like, I moved out here for this. Like,
yeah.
So I think a lot of it just comes down to just removing yourself and just analyzing the situation. It wasn't just me. They let people go, So
Yeah, but listen to what you just said there. You had to analyze the situation. You didn't go home. You didn't sit down and go, oh, well, I got fired. I'm going to do an 8-ball. You sat and you took your training and you did your after action report, which I know you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you switched gears and went forward.
Right. And I found my company as a way to potentially further ourselves ahead, especially losing one opportunity, because I was like, well, it's awful ironic. We started this in October. This happened in December. That just doesn't happen for any reason. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't make some bad decisions, because we all make bad decisions, especially when you've been on your own for so long. You're like, I refuse to accept any help. I'm not going to fail. Especially my biggest thing is I refuse to accept that, especially when everything thus far had been successful for me. I mean, I picked up staff sergeant before I got out. Yeah. And usually in my MLS, like, that usually happened around like 9.5, 10 years. I did it in like 8 and some change.
Yeah, but that's the one thing I think all of us, and this is perfect with mental health, you need to realize you need help.
Yeah.
Because definitely. We all can't do it on our own. Nobody, I don't think there's one single person on this planet, unless you go back to when the first little fish crawled out of the ocean to get away from getting bitched at by his wifey little fish,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody has done anything all by themselves.
No, and that's the biggest pill there is to swallow, especially for us as men, right? We'd never want to accept help. We're taught, like, if you can't do it by yourself, then you failed.
Yes,
but really, this idea of bootstrapping, like that it's almost gone in this society. You can only bootstrap for so long before you're like, oh, I need to pivot, and I need to find other sources to get like ahead, because it's not like it was for business owners before all the digital age, because now virtually, like, you're not gonna find somebody on Google directly if you're looking for them, unless you know exactly who they are.
Right.
It's almost impossible to get all the way up on Google, because there's literally more websites on the planet than there are people.
Well, I mean, look at YouTube alone. What was that stat I think I saw? There's like 1,000 new uploads every second. There's something like 10,000 new creators every single day.
Yeah.
So
just to put it into perspective, right?
Yeah.
But everything's context at the same time.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Check in the chat. Make sure.
You're good. Everything's context at the same time, though. Because what do we gauge is like success for us? Like that's another like example of context. Like where exactly do you want to be seen? Then that's where you start carving out your way. It's context. You're not going to get seen by everybody. So who do you get seen by?
Yeah, and that's why I've said it repeatedly. Like when young content creators, and I'm going to use it in that context.
Yeah,
they're like, so what can I do? I'm like, well, build your channel, build your rep, build your name, and your tribe will come.
Right. And find people that are for you, because at the end of the day, we all have different crowds and different demographics that are attracted to us. Like you have to find that groove, and you have to penetrate that.
And you see, and that's one of the things I love most about you, is because you push people to be better. You don't overtly come out and go, look, you fucked that up.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, can we talk? Okay.
Well, yeah.
Let's examine this situation a little bit,
Well, I mean, yeah, I think sometimes I might come off a little harsh, especially when I say shit, but I don't mean it in a negative light. Like, I never mean anything I say in a negative light. Just really sit there and look at what I said and really understand what I said and contextualize what it means.
Right.
Like, I don't, yeah, exactly. I'm always about bettering people. I want to see people do their best.
And you see, and that's something I've been preaching recently. You need people around you who are going to push you to change.
Yeah,
Because if you
100%.
surround yourself with your circle, which ties into the video I released on Monday, show me your circle.
Right.
If you just surround yourself by people who are like, okay, sure, you got it. Yep, you're perfect. Yep, you're great. Yep, you're here. Yep, you're going to fail. You're always going to fail. I
Right.
want those guys, kind of like this little dickhead right here who just popped in, that guy,
Yeah.
who is going to sit and go, yo, Old Man River, you fucked up.
Yeah, 100%.
I need that, you know?
Yeah, I need that too. But sometimes it's hard for me to pick up the phone sometimes.
Those
Okay.
I'm a little lost on who's that one, but that's a very good point. I'm trying to figure out. No, there's something I want to say, but I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Because he has a very good point. Okay. I love how some people bask. Well, I should say they hide their negativity behind the front of, well, I'm only trying to make you better. You know?
In all honesty, people are just gonna do that. Like, like for example, my entire life, I've been counted out. I wasn't gonna graduate high school. Like, I was a fuck up in high school. I was told I was gonna do this, I wasn't gonna do that. Well, I took it upon myself to prove everybody wrong, and I really dug deep, and I'd ignored what people said. And sometimes that's just the best you can do. Sometimes you've got to
Okay, you threw me there for a moment, so thanks, G.
sometimes you've got to really dig deep, and you've got to just ignore the noise. That's the best advice I can give, because at the end of the day, people are always going to try you. They're always going to try to belittle you. They're always going to come at you negatively. There's always going to be negativity in our lives. There's nothing that we can do about that to avoid it. The best thing we can do is embrace it in a positive reflection, and really just ask, well, why do you feel like this? Because a lot of the times it's not even directed towards you. Like, if you really just sit back and think what people say, like, oh, I fucking hate you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but why? How are you feeling today? Are you okay today? Like, sometimes just asking questions like that, like, people will literally just sit there, start tearing up. They don't even hate you. They hate the situation that they're in.
I agree with that. And there's sometimes where it can be a miscommunication from something somebody heard about you, and someone hear this and someone hear that. You know, I'm going to leave that one alone. I see it, and screw it. I don't care. I get where some people jump in because they think they want to protect their friends. Like, I'm guilty of it. Where if I see my friends getting attacked, I want to come rushing in. I want to take a flamethrower and help burn down the village, you know?
I guess ignore it. I mean, that's the best thing that you can do, dude. Like, honestly, that's the best advice I can give. Like, people, exactly, just move. Exactly. Thank you, Ken. That took the words right out of my mouth. If somebody is doing that, like, I've literally unfriended family that has been negative towards me.
Gee, I don't think you're starting anything. I think you're putting out wonderful stuff. I really,
yeah,
really
no,
do.
I love it. It's good. It's thought provoking. I'm just not used to people being this involved in the chat. This is nice.
Hey! My show's grown a little bit, okay? Come on, Mike.
I'm just saying in general. Like,
I'm screwing with you, brother.
I love interactive chats, because usually it's just the people on the screen talking.
Yeah,
and then everyone else is just saying what's up in the comments. We've all been there before.
For me, it's like human nature. I'll give a really good example. With half the stuff going on where you have an us versus them mentality, everybody just wants to feel like they're a part of something. You know, like certain people releasing videos going, oh, well, I'm backing off, I'm doing this. Other people going like me this weekend, where I hit my break point over liars and negativity and I lost my shit. You know, where most times I don't want to look at it anymore and don't want to do any of the dumb stuff I've been doing before. But it's the biggest thing, and I'll admit it publicly because it's part of my mental journey as well.
Right.
I need to learn how to tune it out more and not react to the stupid. I just, you know?
Right.
Whew, I hope that makes sense.
No, I'm just sitting here in the conversation in the moment.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good one tonight, you know?
Definitely.
And you wonder why I wanted you back, and I told you I don't care about the view count. I just want to have this conversation with you. See, everyone?
Honestly, man, I just be in my own head, and I just try to stay to myself, and it's not good. But you know, I just
And that was not a shot at you, Aaron. I hope you understand that. Okay? I not a shot. You and I talked a moment ago, bro. I know what you're doing. I respect you for what you're doing, and I've liked you ever since I've met you. You're fun to pick on, even though you have an Uncle Fester looking thing going on right now with the little peach fuzz, but still,
Yeah.
You're good.
My closing thoughts is, man, like, in all honesty, looking back on my entire experience with everything, there's so much shit I would have done differently.
Oh, if we could all go back and do it all over again. My God. Dude, if you're like me, you can look at... Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I kind of pulled back from everybody after I started going through all my personal shit. I wasn't telling anybody anything, and I just really isolated myself, and it wasn't healthy. So, and I found everything again within mental health. Like, just really experiencing everything I've been through over the last year, and just really my whole life in general. I think it's just been really a reflection, and it's been a very humbling experience. Going from nothing, going on.
I got you, Ken. I got you.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's just how people are, though.
And, you know, it's really weird. We're having this great conversation on the last day that will ever be this way, ever. This is the Tuesday. There will never be a 3/33/33 because no months ever have 33. It's 2/22/22.
Got you.
There's never going to be one of these days ever again in the history
in
of
our lifetimes.
Everything. Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Oh, yeah, because it's 2020. Yeah, that's a good point. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's no 33 days in any.
Yeah. That's wild.
Any month. So I mean, it's cool. Really cool that like all this is happening and interacting at that point. But
it's almost like the stars are aligning.
Yeah, but not 33. 3/33/33.
Nah, yeah, there won't be a 30. There won't be a 33rd. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It won't be like 2/22/22. Yeah, just like there won't be a 4/44/44 or a 5/55. You know, just so on and so on. It's a really cool combination of numbers. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but we are at that certain point. I hear my kids getting really antsy downstairs, so we're going to start to wrap it up here.
Yeah, I think it's time for me to.
Yeah, I really want to say, Mike,
I think I'm being summoned.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And we're going to throw out the usual little challenge that I do, and we're going to hit all the outros and all that fun stuff. Yeah. I do this all the time, guys. I say literally with everything going on, we have the world topsy-turvy. Are mask mandates going to end? Are they not going to end? You know, what's going on in Ukraine right now? All of us are all over the place.
I'm just kind of mentally staying away from everything.
Yeah, well, call 3 people this week.
Yeah.
That's my challenge to everyone is call 3 people. 3 people you usually don't talk to on the regular, 3 people you don't go to the bar and shoot pool with or eat wings with, and just ask them, are you okay? And have the courage to listen. You could change somebody's life with that simple phone call. Now, as I was here, I'm going to throw it over to you, Mike. Anything you want to follow that up with?
Honestly, yeah, no, like seriously, calling people and staying interconnected is extremely important. And even if you've lost sight of it, find it, because just having that human interaction is just vital to getting ahead.
And I agree with that 100%. He is getting so much better at what he's doing. All right, well, guys, normally I may tell you what video I'm going to drop tomorrow. At this point, I don't know. I've got a couple that I'm going to choose from. So I don't know. Whatever one I don't do tomorrow, you'll see Friday. That's the easiest way I can put it. Next week, I've got a really, really cool guest coming up. Mike, it has been so much fun talking to you. Don't go away, dude. I'm going to hit that little outro. And, we got to do that little green room thing. But still, guys.
Do the debrief,
Yeah, exactly. Guys, thanks so much. I'm going to see you in our very, very next video. Guys, thank you so much for watching what just happened on the show. I'm kind of pre-recording this one, so I'm not exactly sure what happened tonight, but I'm sure it was really fun, or it was a massive train wreck. I'm grateful for the time that you gave me tonight, and I hope you took something away from this. I hope we had an amazing guest that taught you something or made you laugh, or I don't know, I hope I didn't really step on myself too badly. And you guys are going to come back next week at the same bat time, same bat channel for the No Lag Zone. Guys, seriously, thank you for doing all that. And this is where I pause for a moment or two and let the little screen do its little numbers, little screen do its thing. So,